Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer of Custom Chic, and if you're new here, let me be the first to welcome you. My channel focuses on fashion, travel, and just overall lifestyle. So if that is the kind of content you are into, then I would encourage you to subscribe, share, like, definitely hit that bell notification so you won't miss an upload. I upload videos every Wednesday and every Sunday. If you don't do so already, make sure you follow me on Instagram. My handle is customs_chic. And that is where I usually drop the latest and the greatest photos. You will usually see all of my outfits on here first. So I'll talk about like a haul or something like that. And then I will show you like the picture content on my Instagram. So again, that is customs_chic. And I want to see y'all there. Slide my DMs, ask me some questions, put something down in the comment box. Like, let us talk. Today's video is all about an update on me, an update on my YouTube journey, and honestly, it's been a ride. It has been a ride. I have been doing this. So I dropped my first YouTube video December 3rd, 2019. Y'all, I had all the plans, right? So my channel, again, focuses on fashion, travel, and overall lifestyle. And people sometimes ask me, like, what does lifestyle really mean? Like, how do you encompass that in content? And lifestyle to me is everything that I just mentioned, right? It is my travel life. It is my fashion life. It is how I merge those two things together and the way I just carry it out in my life. Like, I know most of my videos are uber fashion oriented, right? I talk about some new things I talk about some hauls, I talk about what is new, what is trending, what is coming. I talk about like whether things fit. Like, I do some content and brand reviews, and then travel wise, I just really try to take you guys along with me. So I just wanted to talk about or share, y'all, these curls are popping, but like they're a little annoying in the eye region because I feel like I can't see y'all. But okay, fashion, obviously this is a fashion channel. I'm literally just wearing a denim jean vest / dress from Zara. It's super old. I would model it for y'all, but honestly it's not available anymore, so I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time. But I will probably, you know what, you saw it on the thumbnail, so you know what it looks like. But yeah, super easy. And I'm wearing this dupe necklace. This is actually from Amazon. This is a dupe of the Celine bamboo alphabet necklace that I missed out on years and years ago. I'm still kind of watching for it on Vestiaire Collective, but they want to charge a girl $1,000 for a alphabet pendant. Right? That math is just not mathing for me. So I don't think that I'll be doing that anytime soon, unless I hit the lotto, and then, you know, maybe, who knows. So let's talk about this journey. So I started this video because, or I started this channel rather, because I have always been into fashion. And a lot of girls that I know also are into fashion. But does that mean that because you are into fashion, you have to start a YouTube channel? Absolutely not. There are different ways to let out that creative outlet in your life, right? In social media content or content creating or micro, you know, macro influencers, that doesn't necessarily mean that that is the avenue for you if it doesn't make sense. It just made sense for me because I felt like, you know what, this is something that I'm really passionate about. And because I do it all the time, why not try to figure out a way that I can, one, share what I know with the world, and then also try to, you know, develop a way to make it create revenue for me, right? Because I was dishing out, I still am, a lot of money into the economy. And then I sat down one day and I thought, you know what, the goal isn't to go viral. The goal isn't to become, you know, the next best fashion blogger, influencer, boutique owner. All of those things are nice, and yes, they are goals, but I wanted to start where I felt comfortable, which was behind the camera. And y'all, if you go back and watch my first video, I was literally shooting it on my iPhone. And it was interesting. This was not behind me, so this Apex kind of system was not behind me. I grew into that. I probably grew into that a year in. I didn't change this room or this setup until a year after I was actually creating content. One, because it was an investment, right? Like, I wanted to have a nice space where I can get dressed in and kind of share everything that I wanted with you all, but I also wanted to make sure that I was pouring into something that I thought would be fruitful. And I wanted to also test myself to see if I would be consistent. So throughout the years, it's been a year and a half now, I have done a lot. I mean, I participated in my first Vlogmas last December, and when I tell y'all that was challenging, but I did it every day for 25 days. I uploaded a YouTube video. So I knew then that I was like, okay, this is not just a hobby. Like, this is where I challenge myself to become better, to become a better content creator, and it really has worked out. I've seen the growth. I've actually really seen the growth in my Instagram channel probably in the last month or so, because I was posting more pictures every day, and I was actually posting reels. But we'll talk about that Instagram growth in a little bit. Let me just start with YouTube. So lifestyle, going back to what I was initially saying. So yeah, I thought that I would encompass everything that I do, because that is my lifestyle. I try to take you guys on the trips that I go with me, and I had a whole bunch of plans, right, for 2020 to travel, and obviously we know COVID happened, so that kind of put a damper on all of the travel. I don't think the first time I got on a plane in 2020 was probably like May, or maybe it was June. I want to say it was June, but it was a little scary. There was a lot of like, what ifs, what do we do? And I think the first place I went to Cancun for a bachelorette party. And it was my first flight during COVID, and it just happened to be an international flight. And it was crazy. Like, the airports were really bare. There was nobody there. Everybody was like uber hyper focused on wearing masks. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it was just a new normal. It was just a now normal, right? Sanitizer all over the place. Hand wipes all over the place, which is actually normal for travel, but it was just on an like hyper focused level during those first years of travel. So it really challenged me, COVID challenged me to get creative, because a lot of stores weren't really shipping as fast, right? It was just a lot of like, you order some stuff online, your package comes, you leave it by the door or the garage for like 5 days, you sanitize that thing, you know, to make sure that you weren't bringing in anything, because we knew nothing about COVID. We knew nothing about the coronavirus at all. And the more like our, you know, leadership at the time was trying to tell us what to do, the more we realized we have no idea. We are reacting to this virus as opposed to being proactive. So that left a lot of things want to be desired. It left a lot of gray space. So it just wasn't, we just really didn't know what we were doing. But it kind of made me get more creative. Like, I had to figure out, okay, well, how do I keep my content going? How do I keep my followers involved and engaged? So it forced me to do like how-to videos, like how to mix prints, you know, how to find the right sunglass pair, the right sunglasses for your face shape. Like, I learned a lot, like how to conceal things in your body that you don't necessarily want to show when you're getting dressed. So a lot of how-tos, and you know, it taught me how to learn. It taught me a lot of things along the way too. So I am, as much as COVID sucked, and it still does, and I'm not trying to belittle it, but it gave me a pause. Like, it made me pause and realize, like, is this really what you want to do? Like, do you want to continue to create content? Do you want to create, you know, continue to put yourself out there? And when you do, are you giving something that is valuable to people so that they come back? And it looks like I am, because y'all are back, and I appreciate that. And for anyone who's new, that's great too. So if you are new, not only to this channel, but to just content creating, I think you have to ask yourself those questions. Like, am I doing this for the recognition? Why am I doing this? Perhaps is the first question that you should ask yourself, right? And then when you finally get to that answer, then you ask yourself, am I doing this to go viral? Am I doing this because I have a passion for it? Will I be happy continuing to do this without ever having any revenue? Like, that's a real thing, because creating content, y'all, it takes a lot of time. Like, you know, we got to switch it up a little bit. We got to make sure that our space is always right. We got to make sure that we're giving you fresh and new. And then as you start to answer those questions, you find your tribe, right? And what I mean by my tribe, I find my followers. I find the people who come back week after week, twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays, and they sit down and they give me their time. So I want to make sure that I honor that in giving you what it is that you came here to do. So give yourself some time, give yourself some grace. I'm still growing. I'm nowhere near where I want to be numbers wise. And is that a reflection of me wanting to go viral? No, that is a reflection of me wanting to share more of me with more people. So I hope that that makes sense. So once I figured that out, I just kind of kept going. I kept going. And then I started also finding my tribe within content creators, right? There's so many of us. There are so many people who create content. And sometimes people feel like that is an oversaturated field, or this is an oversaturated field. But truth be told, there's so much money here. There's so much ideas on the YouTubes, on Al Gore's internet. There is something for everyone, and there are a lot of us black women, there are a lot of us dark-skinned black women who create content, or just anyone who creates content. So you kind of find your people as you go. Like, I'm just gonna name them off, like off the top of my list, like Tanika B, Mrs. Coy Style, Martrice the artist, oh my gosh, Mrs. Baltimore, I can't, it's Baltimore. So it's just, there's a bunch of people that I've had the opportunity to connect with doing this, creating content, Black Girl SOS. So it's fun. It's fun because you start finding your people, and you start finding people who you can connect with that will not only encourage you, but will shout you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will put you on their YouTube, and it's just a really beautiful thing to see. So that's been my YouTube journey. Like I said, I have definitely like rearranged this space. It feels a lot more like home now. When I come in here, I want it to be a place where I'm speaking to you from, but I also want it to be a place where I'm inspired. I also kind of went through a time where I was like, y'all, I just cannot keep buying stuff. Like, I just can't. I just can't keep buying stuff. So that also forced me to get creative with the things that I had already in my closet. Repurposing outfits, or, you know, finding better ways to shop. So I started doing, like, you know, Target hauls. I started doing like things you can find on Amazon. I started doing like even Walmart hauls. Like, there is something for everyone at every price point. Don't get me wrong, I love luxury. I do. I also love Zara. I also love Ross Dress for Less. So all that to say that there is a medium for everyone. There is a way that you can push out content, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the new bodegas. It's a whole lot of money in this mother, you know? So, and there's nothing wrong with that, but what I'm saying is I kind of stepped back from the pressure, or maybe the misperception that you always had to have the latest and the greatest to be relevant. Because honestly, not everybody is in that price point, right? Not everybody is in that socioeconomic class where they can go out and buy $1,000 pair of shoes, and then, you know, a $500 belt, and then a $3,000 bag, and then put these outfits together with all of the other expensive stuff that they have. Some people are just where they are, and you have to learn who your audience is and meet them where they are. We all love a good luxury video. Lord knows I do. But I can't always put that out because I know that not everyone is like at that place right there. But we do this to inspire people. At least I do it to inspire people, because when I watch other people's YouTube videos, some of my favorites, I get inspired, and it makes me, you know, get in that like creative lab and want to do it all over again. So ask yourself why you're doing this. Ask yourself, will you continue to do this if you don't make the revenue? And just give yourself grace, give yourself time. It's been a year and a half, and I think I got my first check from YouTube and it was pennies. But I was super excited, right, when I got monetized. Why? Because that meant I had over 1,000 followers, and that meant that I had over 4,000 hours of watch time. That's a lot. That's a lot of people watching me day in and day out, week after week, and coming back for more. So celebrate those little wins, right? Celebrate those little milestones, and envision yourself going to the end, whatever the end means for you. And remember that life will give you lemons. Give you lemons. COVID was a whole lemon tree, and people had to make lemonade. I also got laid off during COVID, so I lost a little bit of the desire, but it also made me say, okay, what is my goal here? What is my real passion besides being an attorney? I've always wanted to be an attorney since I could remember, and now I've done it for 10 years, and now I'm like, you know, I don't know, this is not where my passion lies anymore. My passion isn't content creating. It's in figuring out ways at least to use my problem solving skill set, which is what attorneys are, right? We are paid to solve people's problems. So I realized that that skill set was transferable, and I can take it with me everywhere that I go, even in content creating, because there are some problems here, y'all. It takes a lot of time. You got to be diligent. You got to be consistent. So that is currently where I am, trying to figure out like what my path is, where I'm going, how I'm going to grow, how I'm going to bring more of me, all aspects or more aspects of me to this channel and to just my Instagram. Speaking about Instagram and growing there, there's a lot of different ways that you can do things to be more consistent or to be like honestly out there. I started shooting reels. Y'all, those are so time consuming, for 15 seconds to 30 seconds. And now I hear there's a rumor that they're going to take it to 60 seconds. I hope that they do, because it's really a lot of work. Like a couple days, or last night actually, it took me 45 plus minutes to edit a reel. And when I posted it on Instagram, or when I previewed it, like the transitions were still off, the music was still off. So you got to have a lot of patience to do this too. And you have to have a lot of time, or you have to allot a lot of time to it so that you can be successful and you can get that content out there. So there's always that pressure. And it's not always bad, because it keeps you on your toes, right? You're like, oh, what's the latest challenge? What's the latest reels? And you pull inspiration from like different places, and you will see your tribe grow posting every day. Last year, in the middle of COVID, I got a social media manager, and to try to figure out like, what can I do better? Like, how do I attract more people? How do I attract not just numbers, but genuine engagement, right? Because let's say you start getting to that 10,000 follower count and you get that swipe up option. Well, do people trust you enough to swipe up? Are people knowing that you are genuinely giving them a good product, and this is not just product placement, right? This is not just an ad or a sponsorship that you were paid for. People want to trust you. They want to get to know you. So put as much as yourself out there as possible, because that's what people want to see. That is genuine. That is what makes people coming back, because they know that they are getting the real you every single time. So that's how I honestly, my phone's ringing, but I'm gonna leave it alone because we're videotaping right now, right? Discipline. It also takes discipline to create content, because you have to keep on your toes. I would say, if you can, try to take professional pictures. Those are important. Aesthetics are important. When brands are looking at you to collaborate or to sponsor, they want to see a really tight feed. They want to see a feed that looks really nice, that looks cohesive. It took me some time to get to that. Get your branding together. That is really important. You know, whatever your brand is, your color theme, your color scheme, all of these things are really important, and they help grow your following, because you don't only want to have a high following for revenue purposes. Of course, money is important. Let's not act like it's not. But you also want to make sure that you are reaching as many people as you can, because, I mean, that's what social media is about, right? You're putting yourself out there. So yeah, that's been my YouTube journey. I hope I gave y'all some insight for anybody who's newer, who didn't know much about me or my journey of how long I've been doing this. Anybody who is just new or watching this for ideas on how to like genuinely create content, genuinely create a brand, genuinely create a following in your tribe of people. I hope this was helpful. If y'all have any questions, y'all want to see a part 2 to this, if you want to submit questions so that I can actually answer some of the things that you guys have on your, you know, your want to know list, I would definitely be happy to do that. Because this is Wednesday, these videos are succinct, concise, and shorter. It's the middle of the week, or whenever you're watching it. Hopefully it is Wednesday, May 9th, because this video dropped today at 9 a.m. That is all that I have, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for watching. If you stuck around this long, you know what to do. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification so you won't miss an upload. I upload every Wednesday and every Sunday. I appreciate y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.